You don't need to tell them anything. They will see that change in you. It's really about no longer entertaining breadcrumbs. Hello guys, welcome back or welcome to any new viewers. We're talking about your self-concept in relation to manifesting a relationship, dating, or your specific person, if that's where your focus is. But for anyone who wants to focus on just leveling up, being the best version of you, not being triggered by poor treatment, poor communication, not having the relationship you want, feeling confident, and therefore manifesting it more powerfully and faster. All of that is tied in together. So that's what I'm talking about in today's video. So stay tuned because each section is going to have lots of really important advice. The key principle that I'm going to explain to you guys really centers around embodying the version of you that is already in the committed relationship, that already has that commitment. Or maybe you want to start a bit slower, you're not thinking of like a serious relationship, and that's okay. But ultimately the person who is pursued, chosen, valued, seen, all of that ties in. It doesn't have to literally be, a full long-term end result commitment, but I presume a lot of you guys actually are manifesting that. So when you embody the identity of already that version of you, where whatever positive, adjective it would be, inserted there, but that is the version of you that you want to embody, mentally imagine, feel like, be like, because then you draw that right person, your specific person, closer to you. You can't be the version of you that is doubting, spiraling, feeling anxious, low self-worth, and have the relationship that you truly want. If you're still in that state, that's okay. It is temporary, but recognize that is not going to bring in or sustain the full end result that you want. So it's about that mental and emotional shift of being the version of you, and not even just a completely different version, but just you in the reality, in that version where they're already in love with you, falling in love with you, or as I suggested earlier, choosing you and desiring you and saying, yes, I value this person, I'm paying attention and seeing this person for who they truly are. That's the version that you want to embody mentally and emotionally. Like I said, it kind of is cohesive and ties in together. And I'm not going to go in a really in-depth step-by-step of how to do this because there's so much I want to talk about in today's video. I have other content that does go deeper into that, but it's about mentally thinking and imagining as if that's you. You're already there because it is you, just in the near future, and emotionally connecting to it. Creating these emotions and mental states where you feel good, more confident, better, positive, more carefree, and just overall confident in the process, but in yourself. Even just that emotional shift is really powerful in itself, no matter what causes it. So when you think as if, act as if, and build up this assumption that they want to be with you, you are creating shifts every day, every moment, every bit of repetition for them to come in, for your specific person or someone new to come into your reality, to have that amazing relationship and be pursued and have that reciprocated desire, right? And that assumption is built up and created, which is reflected in shifts from your subconscious mind through the subconscious, which means repetition, consistency, basically just thinking as if there's no magic spell or change in your 3D that you have to do. It's what's going on internally. So it all is within your control, mentally and emotionally. It might seem tough, it might seem almost impossible right now, but I promise you it isn't. Your SP mirrors back to you how you perceive them, and specifically how you perceive them in the context of your relationship, of how they view you. What do you think about them thinking about you, essentially? So do you assume that they're still holding on to the old story? They're still thinking from the negative circumstances? That's the way to frame it. Not, oh, this is just life, this is just our relationship. No, frame it in those terms so you understand how with manifestation it actually does change. So are you thinking and assuming and building up these positive thoughts, reactions, and assumptions about them feeling positively about you, thinking about you, or missing you, and all these positive things that tie into your desired outcome? You're building up an assumption of how you, of your own perception of them. Basically, it's just about your own assumptions and opinions, and then building up also, well, how do they feel about me in the context of this relationship? It doesn't matter what else is going on in their life or other circumstances. And I mentioned self-concept and embodying this identity because you can't hold on to or sustain that old version or the version of lack in your reality where you don't have what you want, or you have low self-worth, or you're not feeling the best or confident. That version is not going to reflect the end result that you want. You can't expect to see the shift in your reality or to see your specific person shift the way that is in alignment with a relationship, commitment, whatever the case may be, and you not have any changes personally. You are the one in control because it's your reality. It's how you think. Your SP is not the one in control. You decide in your own individual reality. It's your mind, your subconscious beliefs, which are then mirror reflected outwards. So you're not going to be accepting breadcrumbs or saying, well, this is as good as it gets. You're deciding. I decide, how good it gets, and focus on the best possible outcome. The difficult part, I know, is what you're seeing from your SP right now, and they are not rejecting you. They are literally just reflecting your current assumptions, the current story that has been playing out. It doesn't just suddenly shift overnight usually. It builds up, an entire story, assumption, relationship is not going to fully shift overnight regardless. You might see really positive visible shifts and changes, but that doesn't mean everything has suddenly changed. It could start with that amazing conversation, a realization for them, a feeling for them or for you. It does build up, but they have just been reflecting the old story, what has been playing out up until now. So if you haven't yet seen that shift, or you're just at the beginning of your journey, or you've gone through a difficult period, just understand that is what has been reflected. Any moment now, you could start to see that change come in. And again, like I said, it's not a total 180 change immediately, but you'll see it through behavior, feelings, your dreams, signs that you see, everything like that. They are not rejecting you. They've literally just been reflecting what has been assumed up until now. If you're wondering why I have a bit more of like a beachy look, a bit of a tan, my brows are done and I have no makeup on my eyebrows, I've been prepping for a really fun trip. If anyone's interested, or I know some of the girls ask about my makeup or what I'm wearing, all my personal updates and little exciting trips and all of that kind of fun vlogs is going to be on my vlog channel, which is linked below. So I'd very much love if you guys subscribe, take a look if you're interested in that personal side of content. Every change in your SP's behavior comes from the internal shift that you experience. So that's why they are your mirror reflection, because they don't just suddenly decide or everything just suddenly changes. It's always something tied into assumptions and your focus. If it's a relationship with you, it's about what you've assumed. Even if you have negative beliefs, maybe you assume, they always come back, or, I always just end up in a good relationship, even if I had a difficult time, or dating has typically been easy for me. All those little other assumptions that are related do tie into what happens as well. So it's easy to say, well, you might say it's manifesting, but sometimes people just do this or that. There is always something mental and in subconscious that can explain why things unfold the way they do. So if you want to keep seeing that change in the behavior, keep seeing the relationship build and feeling confident in that, focus on your internal shift. And to really reinforce that new version of them, the quantum reality that you're focusing on, where this relationship is real, it's in existence, it's exactly as you want, everything's perfect, and reinforce that version of you and them, because it's not about the circumstances, it's about the two of you, right? You and your SP, or someone new, maybe someone better, whoever it might be that you're focusing on, you're going to reinforce these versions by not seeking or needing that validation before you see the shift come in. So before your circumstances shift, before your SP starts being and representing the version that you're focusing on, you don't need the validation. If you can get to that point and you don't spiral or feel this need for validation and constantly seeking something and almost being in a desperate mindset, you're going to really reinforce and bring that version in so much stronger. The really fascinating part as well is about the quantum reality and the quantum realm, in that the quantum field, is going to literally rearrange itself based on where you hold your focus. When you observe and hold an outcome, observe an image or an outcome in your mind, meaning apply repetition, consistency, just focus on the version of SP that you want, the entire quantum field rearranges to reflect that version. You don't need to tell your specific person that you have raised your standards. You show them just by focusing internally on it. You assume it, adopt it, literally assume, assume, presume, adopt, all of those kind of beliefs and standards and hold yourself to those standards as well, you know, reflect them yourself and tell yourself, this is where my standard for life is, my standard for relationships and dating is, this is what I expect and all I will tolerate. You don't need to tell or prove your SP about any of this. You literally show them indirectly, perfectly, as almost like a domino effect, by embodying it, adopting it internally, focusing on that yourself, and just intentionally setting those standards. They will feel that shift because it will become your identity. It will be who you are. That's just the way you are from now onwards, right? So not accepting breadcrumbs. And that's a very strong distinction, by the way, especially having recently talked about the Wizard Liz situation. In distinction, obviously, and being very discerning in regards to, you know, breadcrumbs versus poor treatment or mistreatment of any kind, you know, bad behavior, bad words. There's a distinction between someone disrespecting you and just not being worthy of your time. I don't care if they're your specific person, versus just breadcrumbs, just, you know, maybe not giving 100% effort, 100% focus or energy, or showing or pursuing you that they want this relationship. There is a distinction there, but they will feel that shift and understand this is a really confident, high value person. They hold themselves, they hold, you know, everyone in their lives to a high standard. It just shows in the way you carry yourself, the way you naturally speak, behave, the way you confidently look. If it's like in-person communication, maybe even just on social media, do it for yourself though. It's not about proving that to your specific person. Like I said, they will just naturally see it. Everything will come together. You have to have that faith, that confidence, and, you know, going in with the right intentions. Otherwise, it's going to be a really difficult manifestation journey for you. But you're pretty much deciding that you're no longer going to entertain behavior or people from lower standards than that, lower treatment of behavior than that, if they cannot meet those standards. So like I said, the only person that you need to convince is yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, says, does, especially up until this point. Again, you can categorize it as just the old story. So really the key element here is to assume, build up for yourself the assumption that you're treated the right way, that you're in this amazing committed relationship, that SP and, you know, your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend treats you and sees you the way you deserve. And you're not just waiting for them to reassure you or to validate you. That is not the right mindset. So it's not about controlling things, like I said, proving to someone, or really putting all your focus and energy and reactions into what's going on externally. You're not controlling it. You're just putting yourself in alignment with that version of reality, that version of SP, and stepping into that literal version of you. So that's literally when the shift will happen. And now I want to tell you guys about why this entire reset of your identity is really going to flip the manifestation around. So with everything I've said, you're basically taking yourself out of chasing mode. You're not chasing the relationship. You're not chasing SP, even indirectly, trying to force an outcome, speed up the manifestation because you're feeling impatient and you're feeling lack. That's not what's going to work. You're just reaffirming the old version and the old way of thinking and doing things. You want to step into and keep building up this confident mindset, the confident version of you that doesn't doubt or spiral. And when I say doesn't doubt, it's okay. I don't mean, you know, no negative thoughts or no doubt ever. I literally just mean you're not literally doubting your manifestation, whether you can have this type of relationship, that type of doubt, and certainly not persistent doubt. When you get out of this chasing mode of your SP, you're going to kind of step into this like natural magnetism. So it's going to become like you're just magnetizing SP and that relationship to you. They're going to think about you, see you, miss you, want to communicate with you, take whatever steps necessary with inspired action. If you don't yet have contact with them, that is going to come together. It's like you're this natural magnet to it. So the identity and the statement that can summarize it, you can use this as your affirmation. You can say it to yourself in the mirror. You can just take that as the key phrase away just from watching this video of I'm already the version who's chosen and loved. Obviously insert whatever adjectives work. I do this with my clients as well, based on whatever they're manifesting, just reaffirming exactly what you want. I'm already the version of me who's chosen and desired. I'm already the version of me who is valued and prioritized and pursued, you know? I'm always treated like the prize. I'm always pursued. Just speaking to yourself and seeing yourself and working towards believing in that more and more. Because as you know, as law of assumption, the key principle is it's done, it's mine now, not, oh, it's on the way. Yes, you can say that and think that and obviously acknowledge that, but that's not what you keep reaffirming and teaching yourself and saying, you know, oh, I'm going to believe that it will be mine one day. No, you say it's mine now. I imagine myself mentally as that version. Because when you are the one who feels chosen, when you're the one who embodies that identity and all the amazing feelings and mental states that would be tied to having this amazing relationship, they reflect that back. As I said, they're the mirror reflection. So basically they are going to mirror back to you your own quantum frequency. Whatever you're aligning on, they're aligning with, they're going to align with as well. If you say SP, you know, loves me because I'm amazing, I'm confident, I'm secure, I trust in this, I know my worth, I know what kind of relationship I deserve and that I can give back, they're going to see that too. They're going to feel it, maybe not directly, but it builds up in the way it's supposed to. So remember that your inner world is the leading force, not the external noise, not what's going on around you or negative circumstances. That doesn't define anything. So if you want to build up on this and keep it going, then you need to kind of let go of and trust and build up that confidence in not questioning when, how, what if this happens, what if that happens, not questioning everything along the process, focusing on that end result, focusing on the identity that would, you know, connect you to it even more personally and building on that.